is Sister Alexandra, and I've been teaching in the diocese for 8 years now. And I can't help but notice how supportive the Nashville Serrans have been of vocations, both of the sisters, the religious, and the seminarians of the diocese. In fact, I remember in the novitiate, they would host a dinner for us each December while we were in for the sisters in formation. And they were always just so gracious and having a mass and then having a dinner and sitting at each table and talking with each of us and just always receiving nothing but spiritual support and promise of prayers and encouragement in our vocations.
Serrans in my parish saw that I had a vocation before I saw I had a vocation. So it was after Mass once that someone from the SERRA Club came up to me and said, I feel like I'm supposed to tell you this, but there's this community of sisters in Nashville, Tennessee, and they're Dominican, and I think you should check them out.
Growing up at my parish, we would pray the Serran prayer for vocations after Mass, and this helped me to understand the importance of praying for vocations and also the importance of being open to having a vocation to the religious life. And I knew many of the Serran members at my parish and was very close to some of them, and I'm so grateful for their prayers for me as I was discerning their religious life, and also that they continue to pray for me today as a sister.
I was affected by SERRA Club as soon as I learned about them. I was a high school teacher and I have been teaching for a few years, and a friend of my mom's asked me to serve for a SERRA Club banquet. And so I was serving the meal to about 100 guests at a church, and we heard a talk, and I was so amazed by the commitment of the Serrans to promoting vocations. And at this time I thought that I was called to religious life but was afraid and was kind of running from it. So it was very inspiring to see the boldness with which the Serrans were asking God to send vocations.
I remember seeing a picture of the sisters making the prostration before their final vows and sitting there and thinking, wow, if I do nothing else in life, I want to do that. This public and total death to self before God, this literal following of Christ.
Another thing that attracted me to our community is that we have our older sisters living with us at the Mother House, and that we have this example of the sisters who have lived the religious life for years and years, and that they've been faithful to it, and that they are still filled with so much joy from living the life.
One day, a friend asked me if I'd like to go to adoration at our parish, and I said sure, and it was a Saturday afternoon. Well, what I didn't know was it was the SERRA Club Holy Hour for vocations, and during that Eucharistic adoration, I felt the Lord calling me to come be His bride through a religious vocation. And so I was totally overwhelmed, and it was only afterwards when I was talking to the Serrans that were there that I realized that this was the birthplace of a vocation.
When 2 years later I decided that I was going to enter the Nashville Dominicans, the Serrans helped me significantly pay off my college debt, which was a large burden that I had before I was able to enter.
So the Serrans, whenever I would go on a retreat, they'd pay for my registration fee, they'd pay for my gas money, and they'd even load me up with goodies like Scott Hahn CDs about the Mass and our Lord Jesus Christ.
I'm so grateful for their friendship and for their example of living a holy Christian life, and especially for their prayers and the apostolate of prayer that every Serran member has.
I think what I'm most grateful for is the support of the SERRA Club, both in the US as well as down under, as we see an increase in vocations both here and there, as we see a flourishing of religious life again throughout the years. It's it's happening, it's real, and the SERRA Club's prayers have really helped with that.
Thank you, Sirs, for all you do to support religious life and priestly vocations.
I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for the SERRA Club.
So I'm so grateful to the Serrans for all that they did to help me and so many other sisters, especially by your prayers and also by your support, which enables us to follow God's call.